Let's see. Um, Too many trending sponsored ads on there. They're kind of degrading this thing, I think, a little bit. But at least they mention what it is. World News Daily is quite a fishy website. I don't know why the hell they do that. But, Gab Trends is a pretty good place to go, actually. Trends.gab.com. I'm not paid to do it. I wish I was paid to do it. I mean, cover my pro account or something. But wish I was paid to do anything that wasn't. I just came back from shoveling the snow. And that's uncomfortable. At least it wasn't up to my ankle or my Alberta when I went to when I went to school in Alberta, in Rundle Horn area, in Calgary, where Sunridge Mall is. We used to have snow up to my neck. I had snow up to my neck. That was astounding, and I can barely read any of that. I should probably not be concerned with what I see on the OBS and just see what. U.S. warns Iraq if it risks losing access to key bank account if troops are told to leave. Oh, that's fucked up, man. Extortion? Really? Really, Trump? You really want to go down as an extortionist here? I mean, you're doing some pretty shitty things, and some really good things, and you're not the. And the bad thing is you're not you're the best since Reagan. That is a fact, and it's a horrible fact. I'm gonna start with video games a little bit. At my site, realm.mentalmidgetslayer.com, or I guess you can go to mentalmidgetslayer.com. It is ROMs is also not kotaku.com. It names I'll officially state it names the game of the year to be game of 2019, game of the year 2019, according to my website. It is it's my favorite of the year, and it's a beautiful, lovely game. It made me cry twice. I admit every time I've ever cried. Octopath Traveler, the merchant story, that almost did that, but it didn't. And Yomawari, or I think it was Yomawari, so the dead dog on the road, and all the spooky stuff, and it's a great game. But that almost did too. That was a heartbreaker. Those are very deep games, and the Blind Prince and the Liar Princess is the game of the year. I don't care about it's beautifully illustrated on the Switch, and it had this kit with a storybook in it. It was lovely, great music, and great gameplay. It's all in all the best game of that year. I defy anyone to say it isn't. Just play it, grab a Switch, play the game, and in regards to PlayStation 5, well, PlayStation, you should have been doing what Nintendo did. You should listen to people, listen to the audience, listen to people wanted a Vita 2. They did not want a PlayStation 5. They wanted a Vita 2. That's plain and simple. I'm among gamers. I got a game on right now, and I should probably mute that game right now. It's not even my favorite game. I mean, it's sort of okay, maybe. It's very lengthy. Side quests are lengthy. The Witcher 3. But at least on the Switch, they load everything on a card. optional thing. I wish I fixed the glitches that cause the crashes. So there's been 3 so far. So far, it's beaten Assassin's Creed games and crashing, but it's well, I don't know. It's differently not smooth than Assassin's Creed games. Um, yeah, but anyway, back to the thing. Yeah, the Liar Prince. No, sorry, the Blind Prince and the Liar Princess. It's a great story. It's a great game. It's just brilliant. Do you try to find it? It might be on a deal table somewhere. You can probably get it PlayAsia. If you go to realm.mentalmidgetslayer.com, you can go to PlayAsia from there. Or you can go find a direct link on the 2019 game rankings I have on there. There's also an article I wrote on it on that website as well. But yeah, as for the PlayStation, it should have been a Vita 2. And basically, Nintendo beat their ass because they said, we know what they want. They want a Vita 2. And basically, the Switch is a Vita 2 and more. That's why it's so awesome. Even the Switch Lite. I guess you can call it like the Vita 1.5. Damn it, Sony. What the hell's with you? So, yeah, that's the gaming out of the way, I guess. Well, maybe out of the way. The most forgotten stories right now, Epstein and Hong Kong, mentioning it, just so you get a chance to remember it. I am running awash in what's been happening lately. It's all war. It's just horrible. I can't believe there's all this war shit. Process converts vegetables. I gotta say, I mean, I call them blood-sucking motherfuckers, but the prince giving up his princehood, that would be cool. I mean, that's like an American marries a prince and takes the revolution to their own house. It's almost an act of war. But yeah, it would be so cool. I mean, all he has to do is just get baptized Catholic, and he's free from the from that world. And I wrote so many jokes, and I'll do a joke reel at some point too. Anyway, I would still tell jokes during this. I don't even notice when I tell jokes sometimes. They just get they just get written when they get written, and my mind's always aflush with them. So I was shoveling snow and stuff like that. How many parliament candidates have actually shoveled snow in front of their building? And I lost, but I got the hearing test to prove that I lost. My hearing is perfect. So if there's any question as to why I lost the election, it's because my hearing is perfect. I could hear everybody. No, but it did resonate pretty well. I mean, one guy walking around nowhere and limping around, crippled bastard. Semi-retarded. I use the R word. Hey, I am a cripple. In fact, my disability urologically is hypospadias cripple, which makes it totally acceptable to call me a cripple technically because I am a hypospadias cripple in a medical sense. So get your fill if you're ever tweeting at me. I don't care. Have fun. I'm not going to flag you. Some asshole will flag you, though. I wish we could always know who flags people. That's what they should do. They should have public flagging. No secret flagging. I don't like this anonymous shit on the internet anyway. That's what ruins everything. When we're face-to-face with people, we talk to people, we communicate with people, we're not anonymous, so we have to be kind of cool about it. So we have to be good and decent and nice and all that shit. Not unreal. We can trash talk and shit talk and all that other stuff. And yeah, I mean, we can do all that sort of thing and freely speak our minds still. I mean, well, maybe some people have them, I guess, bring the bailiffs around if you speak properly, Human Rights Commission, all that stuff. Send people to your door for a tweet. But I don't know. The anonymity thing is kind of. I mean, if you don't exist, do you really have a right to speak? That's there's a question to quander. We could always put that in the comment section. Have a debate about whether or not how much existence you need. I mean, I'm okay with them requiring me to even get a blue check mark. I'm not quite sure why I don't. I mean, there are people less famous than my father with blue check marks. I've been a parliamentary candidate, a mayoral candidate. I mean, it's probably important to it. I don't care if I am or not. I kind of wanted to turn it down at some point because I thought it was like a ruling class thing and stuff like that. But on Gab and ThinkSpot, I have a check mark. ThinkSpot's kind of funny because that's the point I made about Twitter and stuff. They took my credit card number and they don't put a blue check mark. It's like saying we're not sure if that's him, but we'll take the credit card number. Yeah, but ThinkSpot, they take the credit card for the subscription fee that you select, which is voluntarily selected, which is kind of crazy in some ways, cool in another way. It's the only thing cool about it, really. I mean, that's why I picked the lowest setting for that, because I was not impressed when I started up. I thought maybe I'd be able to. It's a class system, you know, people were brought in earlier on, got to do all these other, try out all these other things, and and I had to pay a minimal thing, just to, like 10 Canadian or something, just to uh, post on my own profile. Not even a general feed. And I don't think there isn't really much of a general feed. And it automatically makes me follow all these people. I have no idea who the fuck they are. In a sense, it's probably good because I don't know who they are, and it probably might make me realize who they are. And the profiles aren't public on ThinkSpot. But anyway, I got a check mark on Gab and ThinkSpot. Then I bring this up on Minds, and Minds bans me. I don't know if it's connected. It might be connected to the fact that I decided to cash out my ethereal credits. I'm not sure if it's on my block. I should check blockchain.com to see if it actually got sent to me. But it was a weird system there. It's a terrible system, actually, trying to cash out coins in Mines. I don't think they actually want you to do it. I think Mines is a whole load of bullshit. I mean, Gab may have the porn thing, but I mean, it's a conversation platform. It's not a porn platform. We've got lots of porn platforms. We have a limit on conversation platforms. And free speech is important. That's freedom of opinion and so on. I don't think porn should be banned. I just don't think it's a conversation. You can have conversations about it, and that's fine. And I've been through that before. You can check my video, frogging on Gab. I missed that frog icon and that frog sound the notifications made. That was kind of cool. It's got some growing to do still, but I like Gab. Gab is still very good. I don't think this makes sense to make some grand gesture quitting it because you're a follower of some guy who's anonymously posting on Twitter that he's quitting Gab because he found out they don't like porn. I'm not crazy about it. I don't find porn exciting. Pretty girls are exciting. Yeah, I like pretty girls, but you know they don't have to be. I don't have to see them being plowed to find them exciting. I mean, pretty girls are pretty girls. I mean, even nerds get a pass on being pretty girls, and I extend that to Blair White and really good trap transsexuals. She will. I think she'll like being called a trap. Maybe she likes the trap part. set. I mean, here's something to talk about. This discussion about go out and have white babies. That is a disturbing thing to do. Adam on Freedom Free for All said this, and he wasn't kidding. And I think he alluded to being Hungarian or something like that. Magyars are not white, not like in the same sense of the word. In fact, I would suggest that the idea of only a moron considers race and skin color the same thing. Black or white, I don't care. It should not be the qualifier for what your baby looks like. It's disgusting eugenicist piece of shit, Adam on Freedom Free for All. Josh Steffler is great when his show is on. Watch him. He's a great guy. I mean, some people think it's a little conspiratorial, a little Alex Jonesy, but he at least brings things up that no one else will do, like Rogan and people like that. It's important to discuss these things. And I have a problem with this thing. Go out and have white babies. Well, fuck you. When if I want to when if I fall in love with a black chick or an Asian chick and I'm mixed, and haplotypes are how things work, and why not have a haplotype supremacy and have only hair haplotype? That would be a lot of inbreeding. But yeah, I mean, why not have a racial superiority over the haplotype? Have a full Y chromosome check, and I recommend doing that. There's like 3 of us on FTDNA going the full way with Y DNA, and that makes, because of the lack of participation, my race is actually unknown. So call me racially unknown. I don't know what my color, what my first ancestor's skin color was. Does anyone know that? No. It's ridiculous. Even anthropology can figure out what some asshole in Pangea looked like. I mean, really. I mean, Pangea being the one single continent thing. By the way, if you want a theory about Noah and Noah's Ark, my theory is that when the continents were shifting and splitting apart, there's this one area, and people will say, well, every animal. No, they didn't put blue whales on their fucking assholes. We're talking about a guy who had a farm probably and put 2 of every animal he had access to on this ark because he was freaked out because there were a lot of earthquakes and the continent was splitting apart and the drift was starting, and he decided to build a boat and save his livestock. That's probably what happened. It's not some literal he saved every animal on the planet shit. I mean, really, people really have a stupid way of arguing against the Bible. Really should stay away from that. And the John Fugelsang School of Atheism. That sort of crap. Yeah, so World War III. How you liking it so far? Make a comment. Do comment, like, and whatever, being Brighteon, BitChute, YouTube. I'll try to get some YT streaming when I fix it up again. I'm thinking of actually putting it on a new account though, so ytstreaming.com might be down soon. I'm also trying to start a truthversus.com, and that will be a social network type thing. I also have some other ideas on a concept of social network that I'm going to be working with on, if I can find a software engineer willing enough to take it up. It's a rather avant-garde idea that's might just destroy it all. I don't. Back to gaming. I wish Nintendo would put a direct messaging thing on there so we can actually message each other when we're deciding to play something, and maybe or at least get a notification they're playing a game you have or something like that. like the 3DS had. You used to get a blue light on there, and it says they're playing. You can catch this guy in Mario Kart 7. They didn't do that for Animal Crossing though. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. Animal Crossing. Looking forward to Animal Crossing. Um. So yeah, well, look. This is episode 22, or well, we'll call it 22 or 21. I don't know. You'll see it in the title when I figure it out. But keeping track of these podcasts is trouble. I do this all alone, and I don't have. I separate them up. I don't do a lot of them because, well, I like to balance off the. I think the YouTube algorithm is more in tune to people who also pay attention and watch. And I think a lot of these people don't watch the other people's videos, and that's what actually really screws them. They'll probably get away with a lot more if they did that. And hell, if I don't get away with shit, I don't care. I'm on Brighteon, I'm on BitChute, I'm on Float, and all that other stuff. So, hey, Gab TV will be on too soon, at some point, so that might be interesting. I'm having trouble with the streaming, and largely it's because I want to record it at the same time, so I might have to. If I decide to stream again, I might. I tried to do it on New Year's Eve, last minute. I don't plan these things out very much. It's good to keep an eye on Have a BJ Twitter account or my website blackchester.com and stuff like that to see if there's a stream coming, live stream coming. So yeah, that sort of thing. And if you want to inspire, it's great idea to offer a donation or whatever you want. I have I take this Bitcoin and so on, but it's very hard to trade Bitcoin into cash to Bitcoin and stuff like that in Canada now. It's like been black marketed or something. I don't know. But there's a lot of ID stuff, traceability and shit. But yeah, so I mentioned Bitcoin, so this video might get taken down. I didn't mention it totally positively. I just meant it, I guess, neutrally. So World War III. That World War III is in the action. I should probably move this a little bit down here. So World War III is sort of really captures it well. I'm surprised, or it seems to be. We'll find out when I listen to it and you listen to it. I'll keep it on. If it doesn't, I'll tell you what product it is. I'll tell you what product was screwing up to in the past. So got another bag of mic I want to try to. So World War III was supposedly coming. Rose McGowan had sort of a tongue-in-cheek panic attack email. I think it was tongue-in-cheek. I don't think she was actually scared to death of Iran. I think it was like, "Ooh, I'm so scared." That's the way it sounded anyway. Maybe she didn't mean it to sound that way, but it did sound like that. Michael Moore was promoting his podcast. I probably should have done it too, I guess. Maybe I should have. I don't want to talk about Dr. Woke. Tempted to do it, but I hate New Who. That guy there, that's the 13th Doctor. You see him on the picture there. He's telling you Yes, you will say as I want, do as I want, think as I want, obey my platform if you understand, if you get that joke. Uh, Congratulations, you saw Trial of a Time Lord. And I think it's time we put Colin Baker to trial again. Just kidding. That poor fucker got bad. That's why he's probably oversensitive about people being criticized when they get the job because he got fucked over badly. Um, do check out the Macroterror. Macroterror is out right now. Macroterror is out right now, and I recommend it. It's great. It's brilliant. It's I don't want to give away too much, but because I mean it might seem like a little weird in certain respects, but it really talks. It's very. I mean, it's like Brave New World meets 1984, I guess maybe. Deals with propagandism and censorship and forced psychiatric treatment and stuff like that. And it's a good idea to give it a listen, give it a watch. It's in color and black and white, and it's recreation. It's a classic Who story. Second Doctor, a Doctor. Yeah. So yeah. People are talking about the ratings and stuff. I mean, really, none of them have actually matched Tom Baker since ever. The first two probably do because the availability of TVs, and Tom Baker was in double digits in the millions, and he had much less TVs than they did when Eccleston started. So and none of them really crossed into the double digits in the millions. So that's just what I'm going to say about it. New Who in general had really bad ratings compared to Tom Baker, especially the first part, the first 2 seasons of it. Oh, oh, oh! Giovanni Jones is so cool. It's such a great voice thing, voice test. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, my voice is a little rough. Been distributing salt on the ground. It's just terrible to throw. Got me hot chocolate though. She'll punish me if I didn't. Well, if I didn't trim enough of my mustache. Almost a half hour. What have I said, really? World War III. You hear you see the blimps in the air and all the bombings and stuff like. There was a high chance there would be a huge European war or world war when Britain joined Brexit, because usually when Britain decides to join up with a Unite Europe movement, that's when wars start, because they plan on exiting, and that's the next step. They're going to exit, and there's going to be a lot of hate about them, and there's going to be a lot of funny business. The 7-Year War, 100-Year War, World War I, those things happen. It's a sleazy diplomatic way to cause a rift in Europe. Oddly enough, uniting Europe does not unite Europe. Because, well, there are a lot of different cultures and cultural types. I mean, imagine having Hungary there, of the most different of people. And Poland, I guess their younger brother, who was founded by a Hungarian. First king was Hungarian. They're also got to be somewhat. They're also a bit oddballs in the scenario, and maybe if the Central Europeans had their own united thing, that they'd be better off to lean against the danger of the Brexit just under the Bastiat law of temporary association. Do read Bastiat's law. Uh, that's a good one. So oddly enough, it was the same thing. I'll just leave that. I'm exhausted. I'm trying to test this mic out. I didn't want to do this. I just want to play the game. You want to play a game? I'll try streaming games at some point, maybe. I don't know what I do if I do it, but I get insanely angry when glitches and mistakes happen. It would not be pleasant to see me do that. It would not be pleasant. Oh no, it would not. So yeah, I mean, they really close a lot of the issues. I mean, I'm trying to think of issues that are very important right now. How about get out of the Middle East? Uh, Fuck everybody there. I mean, really. I mean, pull all the funding out of there, including Israel. Take no sides. Let the chips fall the way where they may. I really think that what they do, they fund Israel and Saudi Arabia and all these things, and really they're hoping all those cultures kill each other. And they try to help it along when they don't do it. That's how I see it anyway, and I think that's worth considering as a theory, and that's not what they should do. Uh, Tulsi Gabbard is right about regime change wars, but notice that she says she's against regime changing wars. Now, why not all wars? Why don't you just say all wars? Why don't you say take them all home? There's no place where Western soldiers belong except in their own countries right now. It should be considered a time of peace. But I guess we haven't had Armageddon yet, and the Armageddon merchants, like Pence and stuff, really gotta have that going. Brimstone, all that shit. The second coming of Jesus. Hallelujah. Haven't seen enough of it. Oh, really, man. I wish Chris Harper would come back with his Preacher Boy again. Things were getting bad in comedy when Betty Bowers stopped telling jokes and started getting literal about issues, and you saw less and less of Pastor Deacon Fred. That was a sign where comedy was going really bad. When the Landover Baptist Church started deteriorating, I was like, yeah, this is literally a fireside chat. I mean, you don't see the fire, but it's right beside me. And I'm hoping the bottom of the sweatpants do dry at some point. It's really insane that we have private recycling, but my building has to go through the city in order to get it, rather than get a deal. I guess they could just get a deal straight from the company, but I know they promote the idea of doing that. Oh, and the government can't even go and tell them, you didn't pick up the trash for me. I have to do it, and I do it all week, and by the time I do it, eventually it's Monday again, and by the time I get anything done, it's Monday already, and they're gonna pick it up tomorrow. It's just fucked up. Fucked up. Government. So we, if I fall asleep, I'll know if I'm snoring or not. So, they have all the wrong issues on the news, I think. They want more rapid transit and clear-cut trees and flora that eats CO2 to get stuff that you can't even force people on. So you don't really have less CO2, you just have less plants eating the CO2. What the hell is that about? That's ridiculous. Try to be thought-provoking here. People hating themselves, hating other people, but they hate themselves. So racists have the race they hate inside their past. I've got a lot of kings in my ancestry, according to Genny, anyway, or Jenny, or Genny, and on both sides, apparently. Buddhites are counts and self-loathing former aristocrats. It's like, yeah, I hate them because I hate that part of myself. Well, they are bloodsuckers, so fuck. At least one of them might quit being a bloodsucker. He's in sucking rehab, apparently. That's what the prince is doing right now. One of the princes is doing. Another prince is, well, he's at a schoolyard with Biden. Who knew? So now transsexuals have totally eliminated the L, G, and B of. Well, read HuffingtonGlue.com for that story. Well, that's the comical version, but essentially it's true. It doesn't matter if you're lesbian, gay, or bisexual anymore. That's not a problem. You gotta be Heather Swanson. You gotta be a big masculine, identifying a big masculine and identifying as a woman. You gotta run around in a roid rage in a GameStop. I'm a lady. Nah, you're not. If you were a woman, you still wouldn't be a lady. Not all women have vaginas. Do all women have titties? At what point? It's weird. You transition from one gender to another gender, but those genders don't exist. That's the belief system. That's the belief system. Think about that. The intersectional belief that intersectional leftist belief is that you have to agree with them 100% even where it is in conflict with itself. The big Oberus is the snake eating its own tail. Brother. Still locked out of GZLFB on Twitter. You can bring this up to as many people as you can to try to get it unlocked. If you hear about this, do tell people about the podcast and videos and whatever. I'm constantly trying to improve the sound quality and stuff like that about it. I should probably stop. I don't want to get too long. I mean, an hour. We're at 40 minutes now. That might be too much. What to think? It's I've been saying so many things. I'm working on stuff right now. Keep an eye on sorryyousseethatway.com. The U is the letter U. That will be eventual place for satire. I might actually put together a audio satire clip of a preview of what sort of comedy might be coming on. I wrote this whole thing on the Super Delegate Choice Awards, the Democratic thing. I guess a lot of people find it easier if I could talk about themselves. I don't understand that. Yeah, what to think? It's so hard to care about stuff lately. It really is. I'll tell you what's wrong with me when I don't like talking about myself. Awkward silence. You could hear a silencer being fired through. Yeah, Virginia. Virginia, I stand by you. Virginia is being oppressed by really virulent gun laws that make Canada look good, and they're trying to steal a little. They want a gun grab. Local authorities being good about it, it seems. But there's gonna be trouble. They'll be in East Virginia at some point. I don't know. The guy's really fucking himself with the Blue Dogs, that's for sure. It's mostly sponsored today. So Gap Trends is sort of kind of overdoing that, or so. My tinnitus is on. It's bothering the shit out of me. Oh. Gonna get Infidel Warrior going soon. Like to have it done before Easter. Probably not likely. I go to Teespring. Down there, there's some swag stores, and I'll probably put my crucified bunny on Teespring. I'm an illustrator and stuff like that, so I'm a comedian, and artist, and so on. So Got to do as many of those things as possible. Trudeau. Trudeau wants to get more aggressive about policing speech. And for some reason, no one's suggesting maybe Trudeau should turn himself into the authorities for blackface. Because in accordance to Trudeau's own opinions, he belongs in jail. Or at least charged with a human rights complaint by Jagmeet Singh. And I would love to see that trial. That would be so amusing. The Schadenfreude would be just through the roof. Yeah, that's that for you, isn't it? It's just gotta lift something up here, and I gotta try to up things up a bit. I gotta remember what the hell I was writing. Super delicate choice of things. All those jokes are told. That was the whole thing about the thing I started with, this whole weird thing. It's like my mother's from Amsterdam, my father's from Budapest. Can we get away from this skin color definition of race? Can we at least go with haplogroups now? It would make race wars more interesting, like Chinese checkers. Too much of that white and black stuff anyway. This two-party thing, and the yellow always loses that two-party thing anyway. Damn my head. I'll refine what I say it, but no system. Two-party system. Actually, Asians are sort of not a race or marginalized, and then you get Dumbo from Star Wars. Then it's a race, a marginalized one, worthy of help of never asked for. I've done that in more energy, but I forgot to even read it before I turned the song on. But I was just testing the mic mostly, basically. Super delicate choice of word thing. That will only be audio, I think. Yeah. It's the most wonderful thing in the world. So what? Yeah, it's sort of joke I was monologue I was kind of working on. My hands are so clammy. What a callus. Can't grab my lapel like usual. Hides the mic, right? So, his auto cruiser costing me. I hope to God I get donations at some point. Um, do ask me to discuss an issue, tell you my opinion on an issue, because sometimes I just not there thinking about it. So if you leave a message in the comments in some of these places, dissenter included, uh, I highly recommend dissenter, the browser, the tool on the browser. Comment everywhere, comment on the websites and stuff like that. Pardon me. Hey, I'm human. It's yeah, it's almost an hour. I don't quite know what I'm going on this. I just thought I had to do this. Well, I do kind of have to do this. But anyway, I'm not. Tinnitus is driving me fucking batty. I don't have a particular. I don't like to go from articles or stuff like that because someone else wrote them and or they just reference them and leave a link or something. Should have written notes. I would write notes and post them up there when I'll read you the notes again. Oh, I should have just done a McLean show. Fuck this, fuck that, fuck this shit. That's all they did. Yeah, do recommend the podcast to other people and stuff like that. It usually is pretty freaking good. Even this is probably pretty amusing. I'm guessing. After all, I probably would have given up by now if it wasn't that. It's just a lot of goofy time wasting. Kind of wish it was a little smaller, shorter, but yeah, it's the first of the year. 2020. Episode 1 of 2020, 22 overall, I think, 21 overall. We'll see when you'll see that number before anybody anyway because you click on it and shit like that. Oh God, I gotta piss. Thank God I can right now. Do look into the hypospadias thing. It's important to be aware of this sort of thing. It's nasty. It's unpleasant. If you're a male, you'll probably hold on to your crotch when you read about it. But there are a lot of boys out there that are suffering, and MRAs never give a shit about this. MRAs never mention hypospadias, and it puts me at odds with them on that alone. That and the I don't know, like that and the fact they kind of have their own kind of victim culture shit involved, and oh poor men, this poor men, that really they're making men look fragile, while they say male fragility doesn't exist. Listen, men are emotionally pretty fragile in many ways, especially when they're lied to, and that's that's a fact. It's true. Women are fragile physically. Men are reached through the inside. That's why if a man gives up too much of how he feels to a woman early on, she will rip him asunder from his soul outward. She, that's why women should hit on men and stuff like that. I think that hitting on someone is a submissive position, and a woman should be in a submissive position, in my viewpoint. You don't have to be if you don't want to. I'm not saying it should be mandatory by law or anything, but it's the way I like it. It's the way I prefer it. I'm not going to put myself in a submissive position. I'd rather my family line die out. It's not worth it. To tell my son, I was groveling. I was on my knees and hands and knees, and just to have you. Like, oh my God, Dad. You didn't feed me soy. Why'd you take the soy yourself? You did it so you didn't have to. You're supposed to make it in a. We might end up having, like, soy sperm by having too much soy in our diet. Really pussifying everything. It's no way I shoveled. I shoveled on a bad leg. So many people would cry about walking through that. I remember I used to walk to school in snow up to my freaking neck. Had to go to a shovel. I was in Alberta. I was in Calgary. That was some nasty stuff. Anyway, I'll leave you alone on now. I'll start by ending the audio portion. Oops, that was the wrong one. There we go. That's been turned off. And I will bid you a goodbye. You get a little extra content. Content. You really think any of this stuff is content on the YouTube at all? I mean, it's just time waster, isn't it? I mean, people reading news stories and stuff like that, worthless takes, and I think they've gotten worse over the times. Just hoping for their old villains to come back and stuff like that. And Tim's probably the best of that and stuff like that. I don't know. Well, we like what we like what we like. Razor Fist, very good. Check out Razor Fist. That's a very good thing. So yeah, I gotta come up with a meme for this thing and a story and stuff like that as well. Oh, maybe I should make a Yang reference about the mic not working. Right. Oh yeah, Marianne Williamson is apparently out of the Democratic race. Babylon B beat me to the joke. Well, it's not really a joke, it's actually serious. And it's sadly serious. She was the voice of reason in that debate. It's gone. Even Gabbard and Yang have some insane points of view, and I love that cookie love message. It's just cruel. They need that. There's so much hate over there. You know? Check out the Libertarian Party if you're gonna vote. Please do. Even Vermin Supreme, much better choice than any of them. You know, that's the best way to do it. Have a good night, morning, whatever. I hope you like this. Try to say something in the comments about it. Your take on how you feel about it. And try to have a nice day.